Welcome to a Song of Ice and Fire Symposium. My name is Snav, and my pronouns are they, them.
And my name's Harmat, and my pronouns are Hershey, like the chocolate. That should sponsor us.
And this is A Storm of Swords, chapters 22 and 23. Arya and Daenerys. In these chapters, Arya takes a bath, 2 baths actually, and Daenerys wants to wash off the scent of Astapor.
Ooh.
Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I should just warn you up ahead that I am having not a day, not a week, not a month. I'm having like a year.
A life?
I'm having a life, and it's a lot. So, bear with me, please. If anybody can send me virtual hugs, I will accept them. And yeah, okay. Anything to add, Harmat?
Not really. I mean, it's middle of March. Kind of dying out here. Trying to get to spring, but we live in a place where it is
spring
not
doesn't
currently
exist.
spring. It's not currently spring. So
at least not for another month at least. Probably
Yeah.
2 months.
So we're kind of struggling. We're on the struggle bus, but we're trying to hop off, but the bus driver won't open the door when the bus driver's supposed to, and it's really frustrating.
All the groundhogs are dead. They're just like, nope, it's just winter always.
Yeah, it's kind of a mess, but live, laugh, love, breathe. I don't know.
I can't do any of those things right now. This is turning into like a therapy session. What are we doing? Let's get into this. Okay. Tell me who dies in these chapters.
Great start.
Yeah. But that's where we start always, so I gotta do it.
There's like 5 billion stories of Beric dying.
Oh yeah, he's constantly dying. So we gotta talk about that.
So there's that. I don't remember anyone else dying. And then
we find out Lady Smallwood's son died when he was 7.
Okay.
I know, I'm just grasping for straws, because nobody dies in these books anymore. We've established that.
Yeah, and then in Dany's chapter, I mean, someone gets their nipple chopped off, but like
humanity dies.
Humanity dies, yeah. Yeah, I don't remember any specific deaths, so no.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, cool.
I think I've also forgotten.
Oh wait, all those kids and all those puppies.
Oh, but, well, yeah, true.
Let's move on to the summary. Ready for this? Yay.
I don't remember anything that happened in these chapters, so I'm not ready, but that's
Those
okay.
are the best ones. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, Arya's traveling with the people, and they're going around and trying to figure out where Beric is, and it's like, lady of the blank, blah blah blah, I forget all the specifics. Then eventually they get to this lady, she's like, dressed up, bath, and then she's like, oh, they went this way, they were just here a fortnight ago. Oh no, the Karstarks are trying to figure out where Jaime is, and they're wreaking havoc wherever they go, it sucks. And then Arya's like, I'm gonna escape because
Switch.
Karstarks equals good. Daenerys is there. Daenerys is, I forget all the specifics, it's fine.
Astapor.
Thank you, Astapor. Disgusting. There's like child grown into robot, grown into lifeless, senseless humans / soldiers /
Sullied.
Unsullied, thank you.
Okay, that's a minute.
Oh, fuck. It's like
It took you half a minute to get to the word unsullied.
It's like it's like I can see what happened in the chapters, but I couldn't remember any of the words to describe it. Like, do you know what I mean? I like saw everything, but I was like, I can't remember the dude's name. I can't remember the group's name. I can't remember any of the names. I couldn't remember like the small John or Bell John, Big Bell, Small Bell. What's his name?
Strong Belvas.
Thank you.
Bell John.
I don't know. Like,
You're thinking of Great and Small John.
Oh.
Umbers.
Oh no.
It's okay.
I don't remember anything.
Speaking of names, after we started our podcast, a few months into it, it occurred to me that I should have named our podcast Unsullied or something.
Oh my god.
Get it? But it's not. We're just a weirdly named podcast now. It's fine.
Pop Culture Symposium.
A Song of Ice and Fire Symposium.
It gives had to hit a minimum word count.
It totally does.
But that's okay.
Okay. That's just our brand. It's fine.
Okay.
We dwell on the details and we use too many words. So let's use those words to talk about Arya. Yay. Okay, so they pass a little keep of a knight, and the knight's not totally there, and his maester's helping them along. And this is when they first hear of Thoros dying. Beric dying. The Lannisters caught Lord Beric near the God's Eye. He was hanged. And then Lem's like, oh, he was hanged for sure, but Thoros cut him down before he died. His lordship's a hard man to kill, so, we're okay. Mm-hmm. And they're like, okay, cool, we'll be on our way now.
Lady of the Leaves.
Yeah, they go to the Lady of the Leaves, who lives up in the trees. And it's this really cool hidden village.
This was so cool.
I just kind of want to live there.
I want to go there right now. Right about now.
Yeah. Except they're like, ooh, people have been passing through, so I don't know how long we can stay here, but we're here for now. Yeah. And we haven't seen Lord Beric in a while. In fact, he's dead. The mountain caught him and drove a dagger through his eye. A begging brother told us, and he had it from the lips of a man who saw it happen. And Lem's again just like, that's an old stale tale. The Lightning Lord's not so easy to kill. Sir Gregor might have put his eye out, but a man doesn't die of that. And then he points to Jack Be Lucky, who only has one eye, and Jack's like, yeah, cool.
I'm alive.
And he goes on about his family, which I'm not sure, how it's relevant. He does mention a brother who gets sent to the wall. Maybe we've heard of that guy. I don't know. I don't remember. Somebody else tell me. Yeah, they're like, okay, see you later. May the warrior defend him, and the Red Priest too, because Thoros is with him, so that's cool. And then they come upon a sept that has been looted by Northmen, savages who worship trees, who wanted the Kingslayer, and
I don't like this.
Yeah, and then somebody says oh, I think they also don't know where Beric Dondarrion is, and one of the comments oh, the Lightning Lord is everywhere and nowhere, which is kind of where he seems to be.
No.
And we finally kind of get an age on Arya. She says she'll be 1 in 10, so she's not 11 yet.
Wow.
I think she was she 8 or 9 when we first started? Arya was 9.
Huh.
So it's been almost 2 years, kinda.
That's it?
Yeah, right? It feels like a lifetime.
Yeah. Feels that's wild.
Mm-hmm. So she's gonna be 11 soon. How exciting for her. She'll be a woman soon.
Greenbeard's being weird. Everyone in these chapters is being weird, and I don't like it.
Yeah, that's kind of their brand. So they're just on their way again, and they're talking, and
it's giving some nice little, like, campfire vibes. Like, there's people singing songs, like, and
Right.
guys, like, showing her his bow. Like, it's like a fun
yeah, I
little...
guess like if we get to River Run, I'll make you a bow. And Tom Seven Strings is like, yeah, that her uncle's not gonna let you make a bow. He hates music, and a man who hates music can't be trusted. And Lem's like, it's not music he hates, it's you. Now, do you remember anything about this?
No.
Okay, so remember back before everything else shit went to hell, Catelyn was on her way back from King's Landing, and they were at that inn at the crossroads.
Yeah.
And they were sitting with a singer who was like, oh, I just came from River Run, and Edmure is my best bro. And Catelyn was just sitting there snickering to herself like, my brother hates singers.
Oh, okay.
Here's some context.
Huh.
So apparently, Edmure tried to have sex with somebody, but was so drunk that he couldn't accomplish it. And Tom Sevens made a song about it. A song about a floppy fish. And now Edmure hates singers, especially Thomas Evans.
No.
So...
Okay, also...
cute little throwback.
Follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
Is Edmure, like... why isn't he married?
Why indeed? Like, he's younger than Kat.
But he's, like, the heir, right? So he needs an heir.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what's going on there?
I'm not sure. Maybe they just didn't find a good match yet. And then, like, Hoster Tully kind of got sick because their mom's already dead. So, like, who's going to arrange the marriages? I don't know.
Huh.
I'm sure he doesn't want to, like, marry a Frey because he's like, well, Freys, they're beneath me. Because he's so prideful.
Right.
So, like, who's going to marry Edmure?
Right. I don't know. But, I mean, we can offer...
like, who would you suggest?
We can offer Edmure to anyone now. I don't know if they'll want him, but...
Right, but who are some eligible maidens? I hate that I said that, but I said it anyway, so I'm gonna get on with it.
He's also so old now, though, and all the eligible maidens are
Is
probably
he
younger.
old? I feel like he's like 30.
Isn't that
or
old?
Under.
Most of these
30.
marriages are happening at, like, age 16 for these royal people.
That is true. I think he's older than usual, but he's not that old. Like, I think it's with, like, the girls get married off really soon, but the men can hang off for a bit.
Right, of course. Yeah, who could he marry? He could marry, like... I don't know. Who's, like, not married?
Because so the Tullys are like a great house, so their equals would be like the Starks, the Aarons, the Lannisters, the Baratheons, the Tyrells, and the Martells. Oh, and the Greyjoys.
Mm-hmm. He can marry Asha.
Asha Greyjoy. Oh my god, that would be... she would not put up with his shit at all.
Which would be so funny.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, the Lannisters, Martells, and Tyrells are, like, crossbreeding right now. So, like,
right, they're like all in there.
They're gonna take up all the eligible people who are, like, of age. Like, there's, like, no one left. As far, I mean, like, no one important left. We can
and
marry...
then he's like, well, not that they, like, care about it, but... like, there's nobody in the start, like, they could marry. They could be like, you'll marry Sansa, like,
yeah.
But, you know, first off, they don't have Sansa. No, hang on. First off, niece. Second off, don't have Sansa.
Yeah.
Also, she's a child.
Yeah. Also, we're not Targaryens out here. Like, calm down.
Yeah, but I don't think, like, they consider, like, cousins or, like, uncles that big a deal.
Okay, that's disturbing.
Yeah, I don't think that's, like, they're, like, brother, like, siblings, they're like, hell no, but, like, cousins, they're like, maybe.
Okay, I don't want to talk about this.
Okay, so then there's also, like, the errands, like, nobody there.
Yeah. Because it's all the other houses they're either related to or the other
you're right,
houses
like,
are
literally Asha
cross-going.
is the only kind of eligible one.
Yeah.
So unless they make that happen.
That would be so funny.
Yeah, but then Rob's gonna be like, hey, thanks for killing my brothers and taking over my lands. Please marry my uncle. Like,
oh my god.
yeah, so I guess Edmure is just a forever bachelor. Okay, I don't know why are we stuck on this?
Because I asked why he wasn't married.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't have an answer for you.
Okay. I thought it was like this big secret, but I guess not.
Maybe some people met him and they were like, oh, this dude is so unbearable. We do not want to subject our daughters to this.
That's so funny.
It's kind of like this same as, like, why is Tyrion still not married? Like,
yeah.
you know, his father's like, oh, you're a dwarf and people don't want to marry dwarfs. Which we were like, yeah, but he's still a Lannister. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
That makes no sense.
Yeah. I don't know. George R. R. Martin's just not really up on his marriages, I guess. Not his priority. He's like, I'm all about battles. Okay, so, okay, and then, so Arya starts thinking, she's weirdly, so they're talking about, like, other people they ransomed, and she's like, oh my god, what if Rob doesn't want to ransom me? And what if my mom doesn't want me back after all the things I've done? She's like, her little child insecurities. Ugh.
I was like, bro, they want you, I promise.
They really want you. They would do anything, literally anything.
This was so sad. I was like, because, like, she almost, like, doesn't want to see her family again. You know?
Well, she's worried that they don't want to see her, so.
Yeah, but, like, I'm just like, this is so sad. Like, a child should be like, yes, mom. You know? Like, this sucked.
Yeah. Anyway, then they go to High Heart, a hill above the lands that used to be a place of the children of the forest, and it's kind of circled by these stumps of once mighty weirwoods that were chopped down, which such a bummer, like, you know. And there's, like, you know, stories about it being haunted with the children of the forest and all of that. And it's said that no harm can ever come to those who sleep here. And Arya looks around and she's like, oh yeah, this is a pretty high land and, you know, everything else around is flat. So, like, it's a good defensive position. She's thinking, like, practical things. But other people usually, the small folk, the regular people, usually shun this place because they think it's haunted, and because it's where the Andal king named Eric the Kinslayer had cut down their grove, which, wrong move, dude, wrong move. Yeah. So, yeah, they're there, and she falls asleep at one point, but then, like, the wind wakes her up, and she hears Tom and Lem and Greenbeard talking to somebody. And it's this little woman, a foot shorter than Arya and older than old Nan, which quite an accomplishment in this world, you know.
Oh my god.
All stooped and wrinkled and leaning on a gnarled black lane. Her white hair was so long it came almost to the ground. Her flesh was whiter, the color of milk, and it seemed to Arya that her eyes were red, though it was hard to tell from the bushes. And she, like, the next day, she's like, are there children of the forest here? Because she's like, that was definitely a child of the forest, like, in her brain. So this woman has some interesting dreams. So she tells them first that, this is a quote, I dreamt I saw a shadow with a burning heart butchering a golden stag. What do you make of that?
I mean, Melisandre is out here killing Stan the Man.
Stan the Man?
Yeah.
You don't think this is about Stannis' shadow killing Renly?
Yeah, but that already happened.
Okay. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. The way George R. R. Martin establishes credibility is that he'll give you, like, prophecies, but he'll give you, like, a thing that you know is true.
Yeah.
And then he'll give you other things so that you can be like, oh, this has got to be
I
true.
just assumed it was like all things that like I was like, why would she be prophesizing on something that's already
I don't know if
happened?
like Stannis would be a golden stag, because Renly married Marjorie, the Golden Rose.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clearly just Renly being killed. I'm just gonna tell you. I have no energy to like be coy about it.
Okay.
But you were like, Melisandre's gonna kill Stannis?
Yeah,
Whose shadow would she have used to kill Stannis?
Stannis' own shadow to kill Stannis.
What?
Yeah, it would be like a double backstab.
Okay, people are gonna be like, why didn't you just let her dwell on that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
But I need you to consider the next things. Okay.
Okay.
I dreamt of a man without a face, waiting on a bridge that swayed and swung. On his shoulder perched a drowned crow with seaweed hanging from his wings.
Oh my
What do you make of that?
I mean, our man Jaqen is...
Okay, faceless man, yeah, okay.
Our man Jaqen is...
Or not really Jaqen.
Or, well... Oh, yeah, I guess that was his fake name. Oh my god, I keep forgetting that. For some reason, that's like his real name in my mind. But like, I don't know. I have a couple different thoughts on this.
Give him to us.
Okay, you know how he was like going after someone and we were like, oh, he was like waiting in the dungeons for his like person, whatever.
Yeah, we're like, why was he in King's Landing? Also, where does he have to go after he leaves Arya? Like all of those
why
things.
did he bother to get captured? All that. So I don't know, like maybe this man is like because I feel like...
What's he doing on a swaying bridge?
He's on a swing. And he's, like, waiting for someone...
On a swing? Not a bridge, but a swing?
I don't know why I said swing. I
Okay.
I meant bridge. I don't know where swing came from.
The bridge is swinging.
Oh. I don't know
It's
why
like a rope bridge. You know?
That makes sense, yeah. Okay.
Are we familiar with any swinging bridges?
Are we?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't think so.
Okay, I've already disappointed our listeners. I'm not going to do it anymore, so I'm just going to let you sit there.
Is there, where do we have a swinging bridge?
All right, okay, tell me about your thoughts, and then we will come back to the bridge.
Okay, I just figured it was like, either he's trying to deliver a message to the person that he's trying to go to, and it, like, didn't get delivered. Or he's intercepting a message.
Because of the crow, right?
Yeah, because of the crow. Or he's
and the crow drowned, so like the message
didn't get
That's
through.
Good. That makes sense.
So like it's either like his message and then it didn't get through and now it's like, it's like returned mail, kind of. But I don't know how else to explain it. Or it's like he intercepted something in order to get to the person that he's trying to get to, and now he's waiting for that person after having intercepted that message.
Okay.
I don't know who this person is, though. Maybe it's, like, someone that, like... Because, like, he doesn't really have an identity, so maybe it's, like... I get that he could just be, like, a mythical creature that, like, doesn't have an identity, but I feel like maybe he's someone who lost his identity, and now he's trying to get back at the person... Who made him lose his identity, and like that's what his whole purpose has been.
Oh,
but I don't
it's
really
like a
know.
Vengeance thing. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm cool with that. Let's move on to the next one.
What's the bridge?
I don't know.
You do know. You said there was a bridge.
It's the bridge to the next life.
No.
There's boarding bridges of alliances. It's the bridge of alliance.
There's a bridge that you're not telling me about or not reminding me about. There's no bridge in this world. What do you mean bridge?
You're right. There's no bridges.
You're lying.
I am lying. I dreamt of a roaring river and
evil.
A woman that was a fish.
Okay, wait, no, I need to think about this. Let me think if I can get to a bridge.
Can you think about this after?
No, I need to think about this now.
Oh, fine.
Where's there a swinging bridge? Okay, I don't know. Wait, I'm just
gonna look at the depths of hell.
I'm gonna look at the map once, really quickly. Or the multiple maps, I guess. Wait, is there like a bridge at King's Landing?
I don't know.
I think there is.
There is that drawbridge.
That's a bridge.
Over the dry moat.
That swings,
Every
right?
castle has a drawbridge, really.
Yeah, but the King's Landing one's special.
Sure.
Maybe, like, does Moat Cailin have a bridge? I feel like a Moat Cailin would have
I don't know. There's a causeway, but that's not really a... Is it? Well, a causeway is kind of a... Well... But a causeway is, like, stationary. Like, there's nothing swinging on a causeway.
Okay, I cannot find it. This is really sad. There's no bridge.
There's not going to be an arrow with a point to a bridge that says blank bridge. Like, that doesn't exist. I don't know what you're looking for.
There could be. I don't know. I'm desperate. See, someone needs to, some listener needs to get on this. Someone needs to make a spoiler-free encyclopedia that I can reference when I need things.
So you can just look up bridge and then see where you've seen bridges before?
Yes, I need that because that's what normal people's minds are like, and my mind doesn't do that. So I need a bridge. I need a bridge to a bridge. I'm having a mental breakdown.
All right, I'll let you know if somebody comes up with that encyclopedia. But I don't know if I'll give you access to it anyway, because I don't trust other people's resources. Because, like, listen, there's way too many spoilers out there. Okay, can we move on to the next one?
Fine. I want to know about the bridge.
I know. You can think about it. You can sleep on it. I dreamt of a roaring river and a woman that was a fish. Dead she drifted, with red tears on her cheeks. But when her eyes did open, oh, I woke from terror.
You're gonna hate me.
Okay, I love to hate you. Tell me.
All I thought of for this one is Varys equals mermaid, because that's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of that theory, and that's literally all I could think of.
Is Varys a woman, though? But also, why is he crying red tears?
I don't know.
And why...
I don't know. But that was my first thought.
And what's this, like, dead she drifted, but then her eyes did open? Like, what does that mean? Is it one of the, whites somewhere?
I don't think so. I think it's, like, she was so lifeless that you're like, oh, she must be dead, but it's like...
But then she's really not.
Yeah, it's like hibernation, but not. But, like...
Okay, so this... woman is Varys?
No, that's just
okay.
No, that
okay,
was a
give
thought.
Me your next guess then.
Let's see. I dreamt of a roaring river and a woman that was a fish. Did she drift? Who's a woman that was a fish? Or maybe like a who has like a fish on their? Who has a fish on their? Like their little sigil? Tullies are fish,
river?
right?
Yeah, because the black fish, you know.
Yeah. Tullies. Is anyone else's house like associated with river or fish?
The Manderleys, like who we haven't really heard about, but they're a northern house. They hail originally from the south, and there's a river named the Mander.
Okay.
I am sure there's other fish-related houses, but...
So maybe, okay, let's go with, like, Lysa is the woman that was a fish, because she's River Run, and she's, a fish, because she's a Tully, kind of, and then maybe it's like foreshadowing, like, she marries Littlefinger, and shit goes downhill, so it's like she's, because... like zombies?
She's gonna be drowned in tears of grief if she marries Littlefinger? That kind of vibe?
That's true, but I think it's more like, how zombies are, like, dead, but then, like, they're still, like, mobile? So it's like she'll be, it's almost like this, like, zombie-like state where it's like she's
like
just
she's going through the motions of life, but not really living.
Yeah. And, like, she's already kind of at that point, and I feel like with this whole Littlefinger nonsense, it'll just get worse, where it's like she's kind of just, all she's is just a pawn to the Lannisters, and...
So, like, the horror in her eyes is just, like, the horror of being, like, living but unalive?
I think so.
Okay. That's cool. I will accept it. So she tells them these dreams and is like, so how are you gonna pay me for those? You gonna give me my song? And we find out from Thomas Evans that she has this one specific song that she always requests. And Arya, like, vaguely, like, recognizes it, but not really. And we don't, like, really hear about any of it, so... And the next morning, she's gone, and Arya's like, oh, was there a child of the forest around? And they're like, oh, no, she was just a tiny woman.
Oh my god.
Do you think she was a child of the forest, given her prophetic dreams?
I don't think she was a child of the forest, but I think she was definitely, like, a cool prophecy gal.
Cool prophecy gal, okay.
That's her job title, actually, officially.
Arya asked them about, like, why, if you work for Beric Dondarrion, then why don't you know where he is? And she learns, so they tell her all about, like, oh, he doesn't like to tell, because he's like hundreds, maybe thousands of followers.
Yeah.
If everybody knows where he is, that's, like, all potentials for leaks. And if none of us know where he is, and we're, like, in little bands, we can, kind of cause trouble and then run away and be okay. But if any of us get caught, we don't know anything to tell them, even if they torture us. And this is when they ask Arya, like, do you know what it means to be tortured? And she tells them all about tickling.
Yay! Forgotten about this trauma.
And honestly, when Harwin says no child should be made to suffer that, I was just like, finally, there's
someone
some
It.
acknowledgement.
Yeah.
There was, like, actually so much of that it kind of, like, healed me a little bit. Because then later, like, Lady Smallwood, like, takes care of Arya and is like, like, Arya can be a kid again for a little bit.
Yeah.
And nobody's,
she can have a momentary, like, she actually has moments where, like, she's like, ugh, I have to put on a dress. Like, it's like old Arya in a good way.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I want that to be her biggest problem.
Yeah, where she's like, ugh, she made me take another bath instead of, oh, he beat me up again, like...
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah, so anyway, they ride a long day's ride to Acorn Hall, where Lady Smallwood resides. And she's like, immediately she gets mad at them for dragging Arya along. And when she finds out she's highborn, she's like even more mad.
Yep.
And it's just this whole thing.
And Lord Vance isn't there.
Right, that's her husband who's like out fighting in the war, because that's what,
that's what you
gotta do now. Yeah. Her son is dead, we find out later, and her daughter, who is now in Old Town, just like under her great aunt's supervision, just kind of like away from the war kind of thing. Yeah. So that, but she's like pretty lonely, so she's so, you can tell that she's grateful for this company.
Yeah.
So she immediately sends Arya up to get bathed and scrubbed, and Arya's just not happy about any of it. But I was like, you know what?
Arya, you need a bath, girl. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Down.
You can use a bath. The second one, I was like, can we just do like a little splash? But I was okay with it both, really.
Yeah, like, we don't know when she's gonna shower again. She needs both. It's fine.
Yeah. And Lady Smallwood starts talking about her daughter, Carolyn? Carolyn. You know what? It might be Carolyn. Who knows? It's George R. R. Martin's book. Carolyn. Let's go with that.
This conversation was so funny and adorable.
Yeah, she's like, oh, my daughter is a lovely singer and a dancer. What do you like to do? And Arya's
needlework.
Needlework.
Very restful, isn't it? Well, not the way I do it.
Yeah. And Lady Smallwood says something like, "Oh, my aunt always told me that any act can be a prayer if done as well as we are able." This was a
highlighted
good
this
quote.
and I drew a heart around it, and it was adorable. Like, I
am so good at sleeping. Every time I sleep, I'm basically praying. Just kidding. Funny. I haven't been sleeping. I don't know what sleep is.
And it was so cute. And then, yeah, it was really cute.
Yeah,
really
so they get her
this.
dressed in this, like, cute little dress, and it's got acorns, and it's just, like, I know Arya doesn't want it, but it was just like, oh my god, somebody's treating her like a child again. Like,
it was really cute, yeah.
Yeah, and Lady Smallwood's like, I don't know exactly who you are, and
I don't want to know.
For the best, because, like,
in times like these, it's better to be insignificant.
Would that I could keep you here with me. That would not be safe, though. I have walls, but too few men to hold them, and that's.
And I'm like, can you please just keep her anyway? Like, come on.
Yeah. So they go to dinner and they're eating and all of that.
She walks out and Gendry laughs.
Oh, right. Just laughs at her.
He's like,
it doesn't help her feeling not great. Gendry, just get your shit together. So they're talking about how, like, Thoros and all of those people were, like, Dondarrion and everybody was just here, like, less than a fortnight ago.
Crazy.
And they were herding a bunch of sheep. And, like, they're talking about Thoros herding sheep. And Tom's like, someone could make a rare fine song of that. And Lady Smallwood says, someone who doesn't rhyme carry on with Dondarrion, perhaps.
This was I love Lady Smallwood. And I love every single thing she said in this chapter was so witty and so fun. And I just love her. I love her so much, like, literally. And then, like, he's like, oh, like, you didn't mind hearing my song. And she's like, dude, the riverlands are all full of maids you've pleased, all drinking tansy tea, which I know what that means now.
Right? So now it's finally confirmed, because, like, first we just got Tansy and, like, Catelyn kind of, like, speculating.
Yeah.
So
you'd think a man as old as you would know how to spill a seed on their bellies. I love her. She's so funny. Yeah.
Men will be calling you Tom's 7 sons before much longer. And he's like, oh, I passed 7 many years ago. And they're all... Their voices as sweet as nightingales.
I can't. Also, what's really entertaining about this to me is, like, Tom is such a songwriter. It's like all of my songwriter friends are like this, where it's like something like mildly sad will happen and they'll be like, I wrote a song about this. And I'm like, or it'll be like something terrible will have happened to them and they'll be like, at least I can get a song out of it. And I'm like, you need to, like, stop. Like, there's a limit to marketing yourself and we've hit that limit.
But it's the way they cope, so.
No, I get that, but I genuinely believe that you can overcope with some mechanisms and you need to have more than some.
All right. Anyway, so they kind of, like, get vague directions to the Stony Sept and the 3 Penny Wood. Yay. About, like, where Thoros and Beric might be. Mm-hmm. And this is when Lady Smallwood shares that there's been wolves or, like, northern men around here. And she describes their, like, attire, which had a white sun on black. And Arya remembers that that's the Karstark sigil, and she's like, oh, those dudes are cool. And we're like, no, Arya.
No. This makes me so mad, because before this, every time she would be cynical, she'd be like, oh, I shouldn't trust these people, even though I think there are men. And the one time that she just quickly is like, clearly I can trust them, is the one time that we need her to not.
Well, she wonders if they're cool and if she can...
Yeah, but
run
usually,
away and find
like,
them.
with, like, the Bolton stuff, she was like, oh, I should be careful. And then she found out that he was trash,
right.
And she was like, I should definitely be careful. You know? But, like, I just feel like...
But maybe she's feeling safe finally, you know?
Yeah, but that's not... Like, I get that, but no.
I know. Okay. It's sad. Like, she's like, oh, maybe my people. And we're like, no, not your people.
Not your people.
Do you think she's gonna try and run away? and find these Karstarks?
She might. We know Arya.
Okay.
She might.
Yeah. But anyway, so this is when Lady Smallwood is like, oh yeah, they told me how Lannister escaped. Not that I believed what they said, because they claimed that Lady Catelyn set him free. And Arya just like, no fucking way. And this is so sad, because like earlier she was wondering if her mom would even want her back, but this is her mom's action to get her back, and it's just, all of those things.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, and they're just basically like, Arya, can you like leave? We want to talk in private about you and your family.
But I do think this was smart on Harwin's part, because he knows her, and he knows that, like, the more details she has, the more likely she is to try and run away, or, like, do... So, like, I get it, but from Arya's perspective, it's like, come on,
It was frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she has to leave, and Gendry follows her out, and they go to check out the smithy, and he remembers Thoros, because he used to go to the place that he worked at the forge in King's Landing, and Thoros would like buy cheap swords for every tourney and then dip them in wildfire and set it alight and then have his trick that way. So I think we kind of knew that it was wildfire, but we now confirmed that it was wildfire.
I find it so funny, because this entire conversation, Gendry's like, yeah, but it's not really useful, it's just a trick. Yeah, but it's not really useful. And I'm like, if all I need to do is light my enemy on fire, I think it's pretty useful. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
But he's like, he's like he like makes the swords or whatever, so he's like, no, that's not the proper way to do it.
Yeah, you're wasting good steel.
Mm-hmm.
But he remembers that Robert loved this guy,
Mm-hmm.
and also Thoros was pretty brave. When the walls of Pike crashed down, he was the first through the breach. He fought with one of his flaming swords, setting Iron Man afire with every slash.
Came in useful, Gendry. Cool. I don't know what you're on about.
Yeah, and Arya's like, I wish I had a flaming sword, and they just kind of like get into this argument.
Yeah.
And Arya calls her a proper girl, and is like, oh, you smell nice for once, and all of that.
Yeah.
And then they get into a physical fight, and she rips her dress, and it's just all a mess. And they finally have to like return to the hall, and Thomas Evans is singing another seduction song.
Oh my god.
And
this was, I don't know, this was like a weird interaction though, because it was giving like
flirting.
Yes, but it was giving more like, how do I explain this? Like, if he pulls your hair, he likes you.
Yeah.
It was giving that, and I didn't like it. Because,
I agree with you.
Because the thing is,
I just wanted to like glide over it rather than address it.
But however, like, I just feel like, the thing is, I've always kind of shipped them.
You have?
I have.
Wait, have we talked about this?
I don't think we have. But, like, in my head, I have shipped them.
Okay.
I do like their dead. Like, I think they would be cute.
Yeah, but she's a child. Like, they're not that different in age, but, like, if this was 10 years in the future, then it would be okay. But, like, right now, it's, like, so...
How old is he?
15, 16, I don't know, dude.
Okay, but like, slow burn, couple years, like, it's fine.
Couple years.
Like, a few years, like, it's fine.
About 5 years older than
Damn.
Arya.
Okay, maybe in a few years.
Yeah.
But, like, I ship it, but even to me, I was like, Gendry, calm down. Like, what is this weird, like, can't express your feelings?
Yeah.
Without, like, being...
And it's also given, like, all of a sudden she's in a dress and he's like,
yeah.
Oh, you were pretty all along.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't like it, so I just didn't talk about it.
But I don't know.
But thanks for bringing it up. We did need to address it. It's weird. Gendry, she's a child.
Yeah.
You're still a child, just like an older child. Like, give it 10 years, and then maybe, you know?
I don't know about 10. I feel like... I don't know. I ship it. I want to ignore the
Okay,
age gap.
fine.
I want to pretend like the age gap doesn't exist, because I thought he was only a couple years older. Okay, if there's any... Wait, what are their names? Ardry. If there's any...
Ardry.
If there's any
Ardry.
If there's any Ardry shippers out there, let me know.
Okay, that cannot be their ship name.
Ardry, it's cute.
Whatever. Okay, fine. So they return to the hall, and all the people are like, Gendry, what the hell? And Arya's like, no, it was me. And Harman's like, yeah, I bet it was her. I leave the boiler. Arya did start it, I have no doubt. She was much the same at Winterfell. And now he says this at the table in front of Lady Smallwood, who is pretty smart, and I feel like she now knows who Arya is.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
Not that she's like gonna like use it against her or anything.
Yeah.
But that is a thing, so just letting you know.
Mm-hmm.
So they make her take another bath, and this time they cut and comb her hair as well, which outrageous, honestly.
Oh my god.
And they put her in a nice new dress, and this one's like much more delicate, so she can't wear it the next day when they go out because she's got to ride a horse.
Mm-hmm.
So Lady Smallwood gives Arya her son's clothes, and tells Arya about her son, and they're like, oh, Arya's like, I'm sorry, and also I'm sorry that I tore your dress. It was so pretty. And yes, child, and so are you. Be brave. Finally, like a maternal figure that Arya got. Like, literally, she has been without a mother since they left Winterfell. So, like...
the entire series.
Yeah.
I hate it here.
Yeah. This is supposed to be a good thing. Oh, whatever. Okay, let's talk about predictions. Okay, what the fuck is going on with this Beric Dondarrion dying all over the place thing?
I don't know. I think this man is just really good at, like, you know, people are just like, oh, a bunch of people died there, and Beric was there at one point. Therefore, Beric is, like, I feel like the Lannisters...
So it's like other people dying, but people kind of attributed as a Beric death?
Yeah, because I think it's...
But also people... Sorry, there's no, like, social media or anything, so nobody knows what Beric looks like, so it could literally be other people dying, and they're like, oh, that was definitely Beric.
Yeah, like, I think the Lannisters probably also, like... Because obviously Beric has been causing a ruckus, so the Lannisters are probably like... Yeah, they want Beric dead, but even more than that, they want people to be like, oh, Beric is dead, just to kind of quench that.
So they're spreading rumors? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like partly people just trying to get in on the action of, I saw Beric die too, but it's partly, like, Lannister-driven, probably.
Okay. That makes sense. That's a good explanation. So Arya, is she gonna run away? How's that gonna go?
I think she'll probably try to run away with her bestie Gendry, obviously, and she won't succeed because Harwin exists and he knows that she will try to do this. However, if she does succeed at running away, because she's also Arya and she's ran away numerous times before, I think that
she's experienced. She's got a very lengthy resume, CV.
Exactly, yeah. I think that
curriculum vitae.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, is that what
Francais.
Is that what?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
You've never made a curriculum vitae in French class?
No, I didn't know that's what CV was.
That's why we called him CV, yeah.
Huh, that's so interesting. Oh my god.
The more you know.
Yeah, no, that's so cool. Now I'm lost. Oh, yeah, Arya, back to the not reality at hand.
Yeah, her running away because she's got experience.
So if she runs away, she's gonna get caught. And she will get...
By whom?
By the, Karstarks. However, what I'm confused about, this, like, the High Hill and the Acorn and all these places that they've been at this chapter and stuff, are kind of, like, equally in between, like, Riverrun and like Harrenhal. So I don't know which
Yeah.
band of Karstarks it is, or if the Karstarks have all joined together. Like, I just don't know. I just don't have that context of like who the Karstarks are.
Okay, so whether it's like Karstarks from like Riverrun or Karstarks from Harrenhal.
Yeah, or if they've like joined up, or like I don't know what's going on with that,
But Karstarks definitely.
yeah, captured by some Karstarks, and I was trying to figure out whether I thought they were gonna kill her or just use her, and I think they'll just use her. You know?
As like what? Like a hostage?
I think. Kind of like that, so then it's kind of like get us Jamie, you know, do this type stuff. You know, like
Okay.
figure it out if you want her.
Alright. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Okay. Going back to the dreams, the dead fish woman, that's Lysa drowned in tears of grief due to having married Littlefinger.
Yeah.
Okay. The faceless man, that's like Jaqen or whoever. And he's intercepting some kind of a message.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the shadow killing a stag, that's shadow killing Renly. I kind of gave you that one. Is the High Heart Hill haunted?
Probably. I think it is. Okay, wait. Question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember in like Robert's like titles there's like blood of the Andals or something, or like something of the first men in Andals?
King of the First Men and the Andals.
Okay, so is Arya like, are the Andals a North thing or are they a Westeros
The
thing?
First Men are a North thing, so like the Starks are direct descendants from the First Men, so are
Right.
like the Wildlings. But then Catelyn and like the River Runs and everybody who worships the Seven Gods, that's like the Andals. So Arya's kind of got both.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I don't know, because, you know, it's like Children of the Forest, so maybe, like...
We do know that Arya has like warg-like abilities.
Yeah.
Because she's had those dreams, so that's definitely like a northern god thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, because for some reason I thought Andals were a north thing, so I was like, oh, it's related to, like, her and, like, her abilities and stuff, but if they're not a north thing, that doesn't really make sense, but the Children of the Forest kind of thing kind of does, so maybe, it might be, I don't know.
Okay. If Arya is ransomed, will Robb pay the price? Will her mom want her back?
Yeah.
Will Edmure ever get over his hatred of singers?
No.
What if one writes a mighty song about him?
Oh, then he'll be fine with it.
I feel like he was... Catelyn was saying something about he was heard singing songs of his bravery at the Green Fork or Ford or something. I don't know.
I love that.
I think that's all I've got for predictions, really.
Danny. So, we're at the Plaza of Pride, and we're looking at the Harpy of Geese.
I don't know if it's Geese or Gis. I think it's Gis.
That's weird.
I don't know. Geese sound like, you know, geese. I don't really want to put that imagery in my brain.
Yeah, but I think of, like, Giza. That's G-H-I-Z.
Okay, you're right. I'm gonna call it Gis, though. So just
okay, I'm gonna call it Giza, so please deal with it.
You're not gonna call it Giza. You're gonna call it Geet.
Yeah, you know what I meant. Okay, so, so we're looking at the Harpy of Geese, and, we kind of get a little backstory of, like, there was, like, old geese, and then, like, 5,000 years ago.
When you say old geese, I just imagine, like, geese with, like, little white beards.
Okay, so there was that, and then 5,000 years ago, young Valeria, you know, with its little dragon flame.
Old geese.
This dragon flame, and it was a fun little moment for them, and now their Harpy of Geese looks different.
And they've lost, like, the Giscari tongue, but they speak, like, this kind of, like, adapted version of High Valyrian, which Daddy can definitely understand, but she's pretending not to.
Okay, quick question. So who speaks High Valyrian? Like, in the world of A Song of Ice and Fire.
It comes from Valyria, like the Targaryens.
Yes.
So that's why Dany speaks it.
Okay.
But it's also spoken in the Free Cities.
Oh, okay.
Not all the Free Cities, but I think in some of the Free Cities.
Gotcha. That makes sense. But yeah, so she's like, Jorah was like, okay, pretend like you don't know this language. Also, how many languages does Dany know? This girl can just speak everything, because now she knows Dothraki and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She definitely knows, like, Dothraki, the Common Tongue, and High Valyrian, so...
But yeah, so we're having a conversation with Krosnes Mo Noklo Naklos. I don't know.
Wait, let me find. Hang on.
When I was reading his name, everyone else
it's Krasnus Monaklos. So you just call him Krasnus and it's fine.
Krosnes. Okay, cool. So Krosnes, we're talking to Krosnes, and so he has this girl who he has enslaved. And then, like, she's, like, his translator.
Yeah,
so
and you
she's
don't
the
even
one
get
we're
her
talking
name.
With. Yeah, which is...
But she's, like, she's no older than 10.
Yeah.
And she's got the features of, like, the people of Noth, the peaceful people, her folk were called, and all agreed that they made the best slaves.
What the fuck? This chapter is so, like, terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot to say that before I started talking about it. Like, I just...
Well, I think we talked about it before we started recording.
Yeah, so I for some reason I thought we'd already had that conversation, but that was off air. But yeah, Nav and I both just agreed that, like, this was really hard to read. It's a lot. So yeah, so we start off with that. We're having the conversation with him. They're, like, discussing this army, and he's a very rude person, and the entire time the translator has to, like...
That's one of the most entertaining things, though, because, like, this 10-year-old child is, like, so good at twisting his words into, like, diplomatic speech. Because, like, we'll get to it, but I, like, highlighted some certain ones that were just too good.
Yeah, literally.
So they're going back and forth, and they're explaining, like, their training and how they begin their training at 5, and they train from dawn to dusk till they master the short sword, the shield, and the 3 spears. Only 1 boy in 3 survives the training.
Okay, so that's already 33% left.
And among the Unsullied, they say that the day they win their spike cap is, like, the best day, because all the worst is already behind them, because nothing they could ever face could be as hard as their training.
That's so fucked up. In this, my footnote was educational trauma, babes. Heart.
Yeah.
I hate this.
So Arston is, so with Dany, there's Arston Whitebeard, and he is unhappy, and he announces his unhappiness through the tapping of his staff.
Which was a fun little quirk.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And he's not cool with this. He didn't want to, like, divert their direction to Astapor, and he doesn't want to buy an enslaved army and all of those things. And she's got her dragons locked beneath the ships because she doesn't want, like, people killing them, because, you know, that totally can happen.
Yep.
And so we would go back to them, like, he's bragging about them. There's, like, nowhere between the seas will you find any more obedient, and all of this stuff. And Dany's, like, observing the Unsullied, and they're all different races and kind of thing, but they all look like the same person because they're so like lacking any personhood, you know?
Yeah.
Like you I think you said they've been turned into machines, and that's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all of them are also eunuchs, and that's so that they don't, like, have any distractions and are absolutely obedient and loyal and utterly without fear.
Yeah. And they're, like, about 14 to 20 in age.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, they're just really disciplined. And this is when the demonstrations start.
Yeah. And Danny's like, oh, it's okay, I get they're brave. You don't have to demonstrate. And the dude's
Yeah.
like, he says, tell this ignorant, horrible Westerner that courage has nothing to do with it. The good master says that was not courage, your grace. Tell her to open those slut eyes of hers. He begs you attend this carefully, your grace. Just like...
This was... What?
Also,
oh my God.
This child, like everything that she has to deal with, every single...
Yeah. Oh my God.
Anyway, so there's
also
whipping.
This man, not only is this man utterly disgusting and filthy and gross, but I just want to point out a logical inconsistency, because I just want to. Like, a page ago, he was like, they're the most brave people you'll ever find. And then he's like, courage has nothing to do with it. And I'm like, so you're really just gonna say anything to spite everyone else around you?
Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah, because now he's like, it's not just courage, it's also, we give them this wine of courage.
Oh my
which
God.
Which is all these, like, this concoction that makes them completely numb. Like, they feel nothing.
Yeah, this is not, none of this is humane, but this is, like, really, like, I feel like we're getting into, like, some weird, like, I don't know. This is, like, weird human programming, you know?
Yeah. So
and it's like a new level of
he, like,
up.
demonstrates by whipping one of them and cutting off one of their nipples and just, like...
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah, terrible. And he's like, oh yeah, instead of just cutting off their balls, we also cut off their penises, so there's nothing to tempt you. It's like, okay.
Yeah, they're wed to their swords. Because he brings up, like, the orders in Westeros that, like, swear chastity. And he's like, yeah, but, like, people can be tempted, but these robots, because they're not people, cannot be tempted.
Yeah.
And they own nothing but their weapons. We don't even permit them names. They draw these, like, chips out of a bowl every day, and it just has, like, weird, like, vermin names written on it. That is their name for the day, because they don't have any identities.
Yay!
This is so fucked up.
Yep.
But it also rings, like, historically true. So,
yeah,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, all of this was just, like, it was like George R. R. Martin just took, like, the worst of all of these different things and just combined them into one. And it was too much.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's, like, going on about their training, how they have to scale mountains in the black of night, walk across a bed of coals, slay an infant. At this point, it's getting real hard for Dany to pretend she can't understand him. Yep. And she has to, like, wait for the translation to be like, oh, whose infants do they slay? And we find out that to win their spike cap, an Unsullied must go to the slave market, buy a newborn, and kill it before its mother's eyes, to make certain that there is no weakness left in them. And Dany's like, oh, so you make them kill a child and then pay their mother for it? And he's like, don't be ridiculous. We pay the money to the owner of the child, not the mother.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, and he's like, oh, they never really failed that test. The test that's hard for them is when they have to kill the puppy that they raise.
Dear Lord!
Yeah, we give each boy a puppy on the day that he is cut. At the end of the first year, he is required to strangle it. Any who cannot are killed and fed to the surviving dogs. I don't know. This is too fucked up. I don't know if I want to read this anymore.
I think we should just skim past the horror and just cover, like, the important parts.
But it's not fair. I don't know, it doesn't feel right.
I think it's almost more respectful if we do it that way.
Okay, well, I think we've gotten through all the horror anyway, so
All right.
it's basically, she's like, okay, but what if somebody offers them freedom? And he's like, they would rather die than be free because their identity is, like, in their ranks. So, yeah.
But it's interesting because then right after he's like, she's like, how many do you have available? He's like, we have 8,000 fully trained available to, like, sell today. But then we only sell them by the 1,000 of the century because we tried to sell them by 10 and that didn't work because they forgot who and what they are.
Yeah, they develop some personalities.
That was the only thing that gave me hope in this entire thing.
Is that they there's, like, a way to reverse some of this.
Yeah, then it's like, oh, okay, so that makes sense. You know, like, there was 10 of them, so they were like, okay, like, we can, you know? Like, there's less of that, like, oh, there's thousands of people, and it's like, you know, they're being pitted against each other. It's like, who can survive to the end? Just for the rest of their lives. Who can be the most obedient, perfect, like, soldier? And it's like, when there's only 10 of them, it's kind of like, hey, John, you know? Like, not that they have
John.
names. I don't know why I said John. But, like, you know, like,
that's, like, every other person's name in this world, so.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Okay, so they start talking logistics, and she's like, okay, what do they come? What are the accessories?
For with these robots.
Set? Yeah. And they come with their swords, shield, spear, sandals, and quilted tunic, and their caps. But if you want them to wear any additional armor, you have to provide it. And Daenerys turns to Whitebeard and is like, so what do you think? And he's immediately like, hell no. And she purposely has this conversation here because she wants, like, Krasnus to hear about it so that he can be like, oh, there's, like, opposition against her buying this, or I don't know exactly the purpose, but I kind of get it.
Yeah.
So Arstan Whitebeard explains that this is all, like, because Westeros, there's no slaves, and the old gods and the new don't like slavery. So if you come up to the shore with an enslaved army, people immediately are going to be against you. So don't do that. And remember that your brother fought with honor and with people who wanted to fight for him. And he is still remembered with great love. And Daddy's like, oh, and my father? And Arstan has to be like, oh, he's also remembered.
Oh my god.
Which Dany, like, I think you know. Like, what are you doing here? What are you trying to get out of him?
Yeah.
But they basically just do some, like, back and forth, and the dude's like, you know, hurry up and decide, because I got other buyers. And Dany's like, I gotta think it over, and all of that. So they finally leave, and they're going through, like, she gets in, like, her litter, which I always find so weird that it's called a litter.
Oh my god.
She gets in her litter with Arstan, and they're going through the streets, and she's just observing the city and how it's, like, all made of red brick, but also it's kind of, like, crumbling and just not that great. And also the people aren't that great because she's just seeing atrocities everywhere she turns, basically.
Yeah.
And she stops one of her blood riders, right? That's what they're called?
Yeah.
From cracking his whip, because that, like, a whip has, like, a whole other kind of significance in this place.
Yeah.
So let's not do that here. Yeah, not in this place. Blood of my blood. These bricks have heard too much of the sound of whips, which I appreciated that.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And
yeah, she's kind of like not a very high population. People are all just it's kind of like a dead environment in many ways.
Yeah, bricks and blood built Astapor, and bricks and blood her people. That's what Arstan tells her. And Dany's like, uh, what am I gonna do? Jorah says that I should leave here with an army. And Arstan is like, reminder, Jorah himself was a slaver, so obviously he's gonna be cool with it. I think you should buy sellswords instead. Just, like, ask for help in the Free Cities. And Dany's like, my brother asked for help all these years, and he never got anything. I will not come to Pentos bowl in hand. And Arstan says, better to come a beggar than a slave. And I love Dany's response. There speaks one who has... better a beggar than a slaver. There speaks one who has been neither. Because Dany was sold to Drogo. And has some experience.
And she's also begged. She's done both.
Yeah, exactly. But she's like, okay, don't worry. Like, I appreciate your honesty. It's just that I have a dragon's temper. Don't wake the dragon. She's kind of a little bit of the Viserys vibe.
Like the Targaryen vibe, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a dragon and all of those things.
Tough and, you know.
So they go back to the ship, and Dany's like thinking back to when Jorah kissed her, and she's still real mad about it.
She's going ballistic about this, rightfully so. But she's going.
Also, like, because it was disrespectful of him to do it, but also because now it's rewoken her sex drive, which is really fucking inconvenient, because she's like, I got nobody to have sex with. Like, what am I doing?
She's like, I'm horny all the time, and I don't know what to do, because I need to focus on, like, getting my...
Yeah, like, and she discovers masturbation, which, like, go you, Dany. My God. And she has one of her handmaidens finds her masturbating and like helps her out, which how nice of them. I mean, it's cool. And like she talks to Irri about it later, and she's like, I don't want you to like have to, you know, serve me in that way. And Irri's like, I love you. I'm like, I want to care for you. So Irri's okay with it. I'm okay with it. It's good.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so just blah blah blah, more of the city. Belwas, they come up to the near the ship, and Belwas is there eating dog.
Oh my God.
Which is fine. Like, at one point, I think, what's the name of the slaver dude?
Oh, I don't remember anymore.
Krasnus is like, oh, do they eat dogs and horses? And the translator's like, oh, I think they eat, like, pigs and cows. And he's like, savages. Which is just, like, it's all meat. Like...
Yeah. It's weird.
I think we've talked about this because we're both vegetarian. So, like, all meat to us is kind of, like, equivalent, right?
Yeah, I think it's weird, too.
But it is weird how, like, people are like, oh, beef and pork, great. But, like, any other kinds of meat...
No.
Like, they immediately just are not okay with it.
Yeah, it's weird to only be okay with something when it's similar to the way you do it, when there's no difference between you and how a different culture does it, other than what you're putting onto it.
Yeah. So, and Dany's like, yeah, I've had dog before, it's pretty good. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, and we hear from Jorah that, like, the people, like, the slavers from the city came and, like, counted all their wares and took a real close look at everything in the boat, so they definitely know there's dragons there, I would think. Her and Jorah are just talking about all of this, and she's like, I don't want to do this. This is, yeah. It's just all, I don't know, they're just going back and forth.
She's pretty much just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I hate you. And there's like, you know, an underlying message.
If you were my true knight, you would never have brought me to this vile sty. And if you were my true knight, she thinks to herself, you never would have kissed me.
Yeah.
Fuck you doubly, but not in reality.
Yeah. True. And she's like, I just want to leave, but I can't because now you've shown me this option that seems to be my only option, and I don't want to do it, but I feel like I need to do it, so fuck you, because you're going to make me do something that I think is terrible, but that I think that I need to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's getting real familiar again. Daenerys, and she's like, Your Grace. Call me Your Grace.
Yep.
She just, like, goes and hangs out with her dragons, who've been, like, a little, like, they're not happy with being cooped up, but they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes, I think she comes out at dusk and again talks to Jorah, and Jorah's like, you have to win this with, like, armies and fire. Like, that's the only thing we can do.
Yeah, he's like, you're gonna have blood on your hands. She's like, I don't want the blood of innocent people. I want it of my enemies.
And she's like, they're basically, like, brick people. Like,
yeah.
And they've killed... So if I buy 8,000 Unsullied, that means that's 8,000 dead babies and 8,000 strangled dogs. And he's like, oh, they may be like that, but if you buy them, the only dogs they'll kill are those you want dead. And if I remember, there's some dogs you do want dead. Because, you know, that's what she calls, like, the dogs of the usurper, or the Starks and the Lannisters and all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's kind of like, oh, like, trust me, like, in all these other wars, like, people are getting raped, people are getting killed, like, this is not the only act of brutality that's happening, like...
Yeah, and they talk about, like, why Astapor itself doesn't get sacked, because, like, Jorah's like, oh yeah, well, first they would turn their Unsullied against whichever army they were fighting, but also they just pay, like, the Dothraki to not loot them, so...
Yeah.
They're cool, so you can just buy these people and we'll be on our way. And Dany's like, but you told me that I remind you of Rhaegar, and Rhaegar fought with people who wanted to fight for him. And Jorah's just like, yeah, Rhaegar fought valiantly and nobly and honorably, but he also died, so...
Ooh, that hit deep.
Oh. I don't know if it's the same, like, if it's relevant, really. You know?
Like, you don't know if this Rhaegar comparison is valid? Like, that's what you're saying?
Yeah, like, I don't know if it applies here. This, like, he had an army that loved him, and he still died.
Yeah.
Instead of, like, an army he bought. Like, I get what they're trying to do, but it just didn't really land for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever. Okay, so this, like, at the end, okay, it's a lot of, like, horrible torture and then, like, kind of boring at the end. This chapter was weird.
Yeah.
Mostly because I'm just done with Jorah. Like, Jorah can suck it. Okay, so, predictions. Is she gonna buy any of these enslaved people?
Yeah.
How is she gonna buy them?
I mean, they've seen the dragons. They're gonna want a dragon. But Dany doesn't want to give them a dragon.
No.
Which makes it really difficult. But, like, how was she originally planning to pay for it? Because didn't she say at one point, I have to figure out how I'm going to pay for these, or, like, whatever?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, I don't know what she was planning to do. So it's really looking like she's going to have to give them a dragon. But, like, she doesn't want to do that. Like, does she have anything else? Like, she could give them...
She can sell the ships and the wares of the ships, but that wouldn't buy her, like, 8,000 soldiers, yeah. I don't think.
I mean, she might just have to give them a dragon.
Okay.
But I don't think she would do that. We need something in between the value of a dragon and the stuff she has. I don't know what she's gonna do. I literally,
She'll
I don't know.
She'll give him Jorah.
Nobody wants Jorah, that's for free.
I know, that's true. Like, they'd be like, can we pay you to keep him?
Yeah, exactly. She might be like...
She can challenge them to a duel, but they would just be like, ha, we're not fighting.
No, she might get, like, Illyrio to send them stuff, like...
Oh, but that would take more than, like,
money.
3 days, because Krasnus gave her 3 days.
She might be like, I owe you...
She's gonna write him a check that's gonna bounce later. She's gonna leave and then she's gonna try to, like, cash the check.
She might, like, it might be one of those, like, I leave a hostage with you so you know I'm coming back. And then, like,
Okay.
that's like the IOU in this world.
And who will be this hostage?
I don't know, like Jorah and like...
But again, nobody wants Jorah, so
Okay, like strong Belwas.
yeah, but like I don't know if she values him enough to like for Krasnus to be like, yeah, I'll take that trade.
Maybe like one of her like handmaidens or like one of her
But I don't think Krasnus values them enough for her to...
I don't know. 'Cause she's like, she's not just gonna leave here without buying them. Like, she ain't got the money. They might stay here while...
Until she can...
get the money. No, like,
okay.
they might be like, here's a letter to Illyrio, and then Illyrio, like, sends them stuff.
These Unsullied are mine. You'll get your payment in a month, but I'll stay here to make sure it happens.
Yeah.
Okay. That could happen, yeah. Say she gets the army. What does she do with it?
I mean, is 8,000 enough to go marching right away? You know? Like, is that good enough? But, like, also, like, logistically, how are we transporting the army? Like, what's going on?
8,000 people to Westeros? Yeah.
Like, I don't
good
understand.
Question.
I don't really
You're
understand.
You're gonna need lots of ships.
So I guess, like, I mean, this little path.
They're gonna build a swinging bridge.
Right, there we go. Jaken's gonna show up. Dany was the person he was actually looking for. There we go.
Yeah. The message is like, you actually have all this money? It's in your sandals. Check your heels.
That was the message he intercepted? That's so funny. I think they'll head over to Illyrio, because this was like a little diversion that wasn't supposed to happen. Like, they were supposed to go to Illyrio. So they'll probably go to Illyrio. And then
they'll figure out transportation after that.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dany buys an army, marches over to Illyrio, and prepares to conquer Westeros, I guess? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. I can't think of any other predictions.
I think that's everything.
Okay, let's just move on to next chapters and wrap this up, because I'm so tired. So we have Okay. Now I'm kind of excited. Okay. I think we need to pick up the pace a little bit. So next time we're going to read 3 chapters.
I don't like this. I'm scared.
The 3 chapters in total are about as long as the 2 chapters we read today. So it's not a lot more reading, it's just 3 chapters though.
Okay.
So, give me your hopes and predictions.
Jaime, Jon, Sansa.
Jaqen. I thought you were just gonna go JJJ.
I don't think we have a third J.
I know. Jon Arryn.
Yeah, dead man.
Okay. You got 1.
Slay.
Chapter 24 is Bran.
Oh, haven't heard that dude in a while. Where is he? He's traveling, right?
They left Winterfell, split up, he's with Jojen and Mira and Hodor. The last time they were just out in the woods, I think.
Oh yeah, they just evaded and they were like, this is our little trap. And I was like, oh yeah, they're just gonna find someone nearby to chill with or something. They were going to the wall or something.
Yeah, they're going north.
So they might just be chilling with someone who's a Winterfell ally, and they're slowly making their way north.
Okay, and if they're chilling with the Winterfell ally, does that mean Rob's gonna hear about them? But also, you gotta remember, there's a lot of, Winterfell allies who are no longer allies.
Well, hopefully they found one that is an ally.
Okay.
We're optimistic in this household.
Alright, so they're with, the Umbers, the rider dies or something.
Yeah.
Isn't Rob gonna find out about them then?
No.
Why not?
'Cause they don't want him to.
Who doesn't want him to?
Bran. I'm joking. I don't know. That's the logical inconsistency. Maybe, like... Okay, they're just traveling on their own to the Eagle.
You mean the three-eyed crow?
Oh, yeah, the crow.
The eagle. How did it turn into an eagle?
I don't know. I thought it was an eagle.
Okay, they're traveling. Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Chapter 25 is my man Davos. Dave.
Davos. What is Davos doing? Oh yeah, he was found and he was like, oh my god, I've been saved.
He was arrested for trying to kill Melisandre.
Oh, I forgot about that chapter. I was remembering the one before that. Oh, okay, yeah. He just got, and we were like, how does she know? How is she gonna know? Were they like, I'm killing you, or were they like, you're on trial?
They were like, you're under arrest, kind of.
Oh, frick. Okay, well, he's in jail. Melisandre visits him.
Mm-hmm.
His son visits him. We get some juicy conversations. I don't think he's gonna escape, but, we might
The son who's the squire?
Yeah. Or the other one. Or wait, he only has one left. Oops.
No, he has more, but like 2 of them are too young. Like they live with their mother off on some island.
Okay, so maybe the squire's son visits him. Or maybe Stannis visits him. But Stannis is like loss of consciousness, right?
Well, he hasn't been the last we heard, he wasn't interacting with anybody except Melisandre.
Okay, yeah. So maybe Melisandre comes to visit him and is like, yo, let's have a talk.
Okay. And what does she want from him?
I don't know. She wants him to help her with something.
Help her how? With what thing?
I don't know. Some stealthy mission in the night, like before when he had to row that boat out.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right. Okay, moving on. Chapter 26 is your favorite Jon.
Done! Oh yeah, him and Ygritte were getting it on.
The last time he left, Ygritte was like, we gotta get it on.
Okay, well, I'm assuming
we better get it on.
I'm assuming now they've gotten it on.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they were gonna they had like a mission next thing in the morning or something, so.
They were gonna go, Mance Rayder was sending him with like a party over the wall or something.
Yeah. So they're gonna go do that, and it'll go badly.
Okay. Badly how? Like, Jon dies badly? Or
no,
they find out he's a traitor badly? Or
it's just like, shit's going wrong for the Night's Watch badly.
Okay. What else is new?
Exactly.
So, that's it. Let's just go. So everybody, send us hugs via email, popculturesymposium@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram @popculturesymposium. Join the Discord, even though I have had no energy to actually engage in it. I'm sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to be better. But there's like other people. People still talk. I just don't talk as much anymore. Go talk to Harmat. She always wants people to talk to her.
Yeah, but no one talks to me.
That's what I'm saying. So go talk to her.
Yeah. It's sad. No one likes me.
That's not true.
It's 12:15. This is where I'm at.
Okay. Well, until next time, farewell, my friends.
Talk to you later. Talk to you. Okay, wait. Talk to you later. No, I sound like I'm dead.
Just keep the giggles.
No.
It's fine.
Talk to you later.
Later. Okay, stop this.